threw them off so much, 2 of their players. Can we talk about that? How the hell did Boopy and Haya at the same exact time fall off the map?
I don't know, because they had to have just been in a 1v1 and just, you know, kind of, I don't know, just like took each other down, or I don't know, but I'm sure we'll look at the VODs and the replays and kind of see that, because that was absolutely incredible. It caught me off guard, because you rarely see players fall off the stage anyway, regardless. But then having both of them at the same time.
To me, that shows they're a little bit inexperienced on that map in particular. You don't see it in a lot of tournaments, and we know there have been some tournaments where you grind for specifically, you do like certain maps that you know you might not see elsewhere. So that I'm telling you, that might not be the last we see of Splatzone's Umami when it comes to a counterpiece going forward. Just pointing that out.
Well, I don't know about this one for Smoothie. We'll see if unless they kind of learn their lesson in that situation. But who knows? But yeah, so this match, I mean, between Sonder and Smoothie, you know, 2 teams that we knew were going to be making it far into the tournament.
Yes, there's no real surprises here. I think Last Resort was technically the number 2 seed, and rightfully so. But I mean, it's not a surprise that Smoothie or Cherry or Sonder made it as deep as they did. That's not to say there hasn't been upsets throughout the course of the tournament. And if you hit exclamation point brackets, you can see how things have shaped up the entire weekend yourself. But yeah, now that we get down to the nitty gritty, Sonder, Smoothie, you know, it kind of makes sense that this is your losers finals.
Yeah. We mentioned kind of no surprises in that situation. But yeah, even with some of these teams going to a Game 4, Game 5, again, those nerves settle in. Like you mentioned, we have those upsets that can really disrupt a few things and how the tournament's laid out. And even the mentality of a lot of these players, too.
Yes. Speaking of mentality, since I think we got a little bit of a break here, I think this would be a good time to bring this up. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers that we have here. Both probably watching and physically in the building. Special shout out to my wife, who is kind of sort of legally celebrating her first Mother's Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're giving that.
Yeah.
Called my mom right before we went on to let her know. She said, can I watch this? Can I listen to this? I said, yeah, kind of, if you want to.
Well, you know what's going on?
No, probably not, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it.
No, I did this.
I mean, sometimes I'm watching, I don't know what's going on either.
Oh, yeah, you know. No, I texted my mom, and then, you know, they have the link, too. So if you're watching, hi, Mom, Happy Mother's Day. But yeah, so, you know, we're happy that we can be here at this point. I know a lot of players, too, they, you know, it was hard for them to get here, I would say, at this time of the year, too. But we mentioned record number of teams.
Yep.
Record number of participants. I don't know about like record number of attendees, but like a lot of people, including myself, I didn't compete, but I'm here, and I know a lot of other people are too.
That's the thing. You don't include spectators here. There's a lot of people like yourself who are just coming here just to spectate, not actually play. So like the true numbers, you can never really tell just because the information isn't really readily available. But still, yeah, this is the biggest, technically the biggest North America Splatoon LAN ever so far. This is just the first LAN of the year, and we're hoping for great things to come. But this has been a fantastic weekend all around. Weather-wise as well, I think we've been kind of worried, it's going to storm and rain all weekend. It really hasn't. It's been ugly in the morning, but it's been great. Fire pit time, it's been fantastic.
That's the thing, too. It can rain. It's rained, like, on and off all day, but by, like, 8, 9 p.m., it's just done.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is great. This is when we're all going to kind of gather and hang out outside by the fire pit, which is really good. Now, too, with having a lot more people here, and you guys have seen how many people are here when we go look at that camera, and just how tightly packed you are, but like in a way that makes us so fun. There are always people who are watching the games on screen, and you can even easily walk from like table to table. You don't really have to walk. You can just turn your head and see everything that's going on at once.
Yeah, and it's been like that all weekend long, especially if sets have been going on. Like anything you want to see, you don't, like you said, you don't even have to walk. You can just turn your head, and there's an interesting set with several people around them. Shoutouts too. We found out there's a team here that was playing in the group stage, Undershirt Man's team, that anytime they were playing, there was just this horde of people that had like signs around. That was like Salmon Slayers Unite or something like that. So like there's been like pockets of fans kind of
Yeah.
swarming from station to station.
Just like traveling with your crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, I like a lot of, like, you mentioned this, a lot of people here who are just kind of spectating and here to hang out. And I know a lot of people kind of, when they think of LANs, might get a little intimidated of, I've never been to one, I want to go to one.
Yeah.
I don't think I would really do well competing, but like, who cares? Come here and have fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Now it's understandable for people to be hesitant. You know, meeting other
Right.
people from the internet is always weird, even when you think it might not be. But the more you get to know people, like the Splatoon community, not to be on like this giant little hug fest soapbox thing here, but we are a tight-knit community. We have to be to survive, but this seems just like one giant family that we
Yeah.
have here. And seeing everybody like or at like every single LAN, it's like a giant family reunion, you know, especially with the teenagers we got here. It's like, oh, you've grown, you're getting bigger. How's school going and all these things. Like, we're literally watching everybody kind of grow
Right.
in front of our eyes. And just the more LANs that are going on, the more people you meet, the more excited you are to just come back
Yeah.
and see them again.
And I think, too, and, you know, it's not really the case for me, but a lot of the players who kind of played in the CCA League, we had a lot of college teams.
A lot of college teams, yeah.
Who can
Especially from Texas.
Yes,
Yeah.
from Texas, but
Yeah.
really from all across the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think for them in particular, it was very important, or it made them happy to kind of put some, you know, faces to names and, you know, that players that they played against in their own league. And I know I would have really enjoyed that when I was in college, but we're fuse after that. So,
Hey,
yeah.
eventually I'll have one of my own that I'll have to put through college at some point. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
yeah.
So
All right.
we are now getting ready for Sonder versus Smoothie. And by the way, if you want to vote, if you are one of the idiots in chat who don't value your channel points, throw them down here. Pick a team that you think is going to win. So far, 60% say Sonder, the team that is coming in from the winner's side of the bracket into this one. You can still vote for Smoothie as well. And to give a little bit of an introduction on the two teams that are going to be playing in this finals, we're going to toss it over yet again to Stu, the announcer. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Popgun. Yo, give it up for Popgun and Falco real fast. They've been doing fantastic. The casters, this scene truly deserves. Now, folks, we are going to get just the hype a little bit more ratcheted up. I think we're ready for it, but I gotta be sure. Fans, Round Rock, Texas, are you ready for Losers Final? These two teams are ready to go, and first introducing the people who qualified. They came oh so close to qualifying out of winner's side, and now here they are again. Give it up for the number 3 seed in the tournament. This is Sonder! Making their way to the stage, the Captain Shy, Toast, Henlo, and Scrub. No fuss, no mess, fear the S. That is Sonder. And introducing now their opponents. Folks, this run has been, I'd say, a little bit more than impressive. Let's see if they can keep it going. They're punching up from here on in. Hope y'all are thirsty, making their way to the stage. This is Smoothie! Smoothie are Dan the Man, Boopy, Balloon, and Hiya! Fans, winner goes on, loser goes home. Texas, who's ready? You're going to have to pardon them. I think they're not exactly used to losers finals in one of the most consequential lands in 2023. Fans, are you ready? And that is when we send it back to the desk. Popgun, Falco, let's get cracking.
Shout outs to the jelly squids in the back with the I Heart Bop Gun sign. We love you too.
There we go. Yeah, we've been seeing that all day.
We
Love
love
the
you
support.
too. Unless we don't.
But thank you, Stu, for that introduction. Like you mentioned, we are getting ready for the losers finals between two teams that we have seen throughout the day, including one we just saw, Smoothie, taking on a team that's had a little bit of a break, but just as hungry, Sonder.
Yes, a little bit of a break is an understatement, but there's not going to be any fatigue. There's not going to be any, we're not warmed up. There's plenty of situations for Sonder to be fresh going into this one. You can't deny the momentum that Smoothie's been having, though. They've been steamrolling the last couple of games that they've had here on stream. They're looking to keep that streak going. Again, the players that make up Smoothie was the same DNA that made up Blush that finished in second place at this very tournament a year ago, Falco.
Yeah.
Sonder, though, looks like they might have something to say about that. The first time these two teams have met today, by the way.
Yeah, very exciting, and they're going to be playing first on Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge, and at this point onward, we will have counter picks for the losers finals and the grand finals. So again, different kind of state of mind, really paying attention when you can. This might come in favor for Sonder more of, we can actually watch the sets that maybe they're struggling with or the maps modes that they're not thriving on as much. So we'll see if Sonder's in that situation where they have to make the counter picks. But based on how well Smoothie's been playing, we'll see.
Yes. And again, I think if Sonder was paying attention, they might have come up with something right there. That is the advantage of having to sit back and wait a little bit, giving more time. You can decide what your path is going to be, because when Smoothie's playing Cherry Limeade, they can't afford to think ahead, what are we going to counter pick against Sonder? No, they got to try to survive the Crim hammer nonsense that's being thrown at them. So Sonder going to be coming into this one. By the way, the only team to beat both Sonder and Smoothie is the team that's waiting in Grand Finals Starburst. So that's this is truly the best two teams that we have up to this point in the tournament.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to a competitive matchup, and I think it will be a competitive matchup just based on how well these teams have been playing. But like you said, I think this is it's a different situation, different mindset for both of these teams kind of going into this, where you mentioned you win, you are the one waiting in the losers final. You have that advantage of just kind of watching the team who needs to win that game, needs to focus only on that specific match. And so for Smoothie, that might be an uphill battle for them. But again, starting with Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge, it all starts with focusing on that first game.
And by the way, let's just get this out of the way. The elephant in the room. This is the grand finals for these two teams. Let's just call it what it is. This is the match these two teams have been looking forward to the entire weekend. And I'm not saying that any grand finals isn't going to be interesting by any stretch of the imagination, but this is the true prize these two teams are looking for here today. And again, it's still going to be the same exact roster that we've been seeing. Hyde's going to be staying in, who's been playing fantastic. And that's my headset, by the way, that he's rocking back there. I just want to point that out. If there's any kind of royalty or prize money in this, I get a stake in that.
Because your headset was used for, yeah.
You know how hard it is to play at a LAN with a crappy headset? It's rough.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I would say if my dock was being used, at the end of a winners finals, would I also get?
In some instances, your dock is being used.
Yeah.
Here we go now. Now, both teams getting readied up. We're just waiting on one more player, and we're going to be going into this one again. Game one is going to be Clam Blitz at Scorch Gorge. And both teams seem to be ready to get into it.
Yeah, just waiting and waiting no more as we get started on the losers final. So winner of this set will take some time going on to face Starburst, but let's get ready for the losers finals between Smoothie and Sonder.
No surprises coming out from either team with the comps that we see coming out here. Now, Smoothie did have some issues dealing with Crim's hammer before. Hinlow trying to be that same kind of annoying thing that we're seeing out of there with their own version of the Wiper. The question is, who's going to make the first move right now? Both teams may try to find a way to feel each other out before making an engagement. We do see an early crab coming out from Boopy that's trying to activate the rest of the players as they are trying to push it in the right side, and Hinlo does get taken down, but however, they do lose Hyatt in the process.
Yeah, they are going to lose Hyatt as 2 players are now going to go down on the side of Sonder. Look at this map control here by Smoothie being able to just hold on, and it looks like one of their players getting ready to form a power clan. That's going to be Dan waiting for an opportunity, but no, Sonder now being able to push in just a little bit more. Going to get 1 pick down. Is this going to be another? Yes, 3 players are now going to go down, and it is just going to be 1 player that's going to be Dan alive, I believe, on the side of Smoothie, as Sonder quickly turned that around. Popgun.
Smoothie really needs to hold on to that crab and use it at the right time, and they are going to pop it right now just as the basket is getting popped. However, Sonder has a crab of their own ready to go to keep the players of the Smoothie back, and they can't really start pushing up until the crab is gone. Finally, they're able to do just that, and Sonder gets basically nothing out of that push. Instead, they're going to lose 3 players on top of it. That kind of works out into Smoothie's favor.
Yeah, really not the push that you want if you are Sonder. Kind of losing that map control, losing that mid, and losing all the player advantage as well. As we see Smoothie quickly able to respawn. One of their players is going to go down. They are going to be forming another power claim as they try and push forward, but no! One of the players is going to just try and throw the fizzy, but going to go down themselves, as we now see Smoothie trying to push forward. Balloon using the Booyah, throwing it towards the basket, as this is going to give an opportunity for one of their members to push forward. We see some clams being thrown too. This is going to be a pickup and a score, so we'll see Smoothie can get a good push. They are going to get that follow-up power clam, taking the lead at this point.
Yeah, but can they find a way to add some more points on top of it? It looks like Dan's going to throw in 1 more point, and they are probably going to hold on to that other clam that they have in the back now. I think they still have their Mercy clam to work with as well. So that will provide a little bit of opportunity for Smoothie to get things going yet again, as they're not leaving mid at all.
No, they're not. And of course, this is the game you want to play. You have the lead. You don't need to do anything fancy at this point. Just win your 1v1s, avoid their specials, and just kind of outpaint your opponents. But we see they're not giving up. They have this power claim that's formed, trying to be pushed forward a little bit. We're going to see Stamp come out, but no, quickly going to go down on the side of Sonder. We saw Zipcaster trying to be used. 2 players down now on the side of Sonder as Boopy pushing forward with the crab. It looks like this might be another opportunity where they can score.
Yeah, but as long as you can keep Shy alive, you can find a way to get back into the defensive side. And I think Boopy kind of realizes that, taking the fight right to the C-Jet player and getting them, and now starting to sharking around this left side, just being a distraction, making sure that Sonder has to focus their attention, not just at their basket, but their entire base at this point. And as they're doing that, you see the other splash coming in and getting a nice splat on top of it as well. Smoothie is not going anywhere. The basket closes, and they're finding an opportunity to get even more points on top of this.
Yeah, it's nice that they're adding on at this moment, trying to avoid some of these specials. And they don't have any clams right now, just trying to stay alive from all that's being thrown at them from the side of Sonder. That basket's going to close at 29, so still a good push just to keep up the pressure. And this is going to put Sonder in a situation where it's going to be really hard to escape as all this pressure is still being applied.
Yeah, they got to throw all these specials just to get out of their own base. That's a Booyah Bomb, that's a crab, and that will get them back in the mid. But now what's the game plan going to be when you want to get things going on the offensive side? They don't have any clams to work with, but most importantly, they do have map control. The problem is Smoothie's able to build up all their specials as well, and now you're starting to see them come out and just reclaim everything. Sonder doesn't really have a game plan to get out of their own base unless they have to burn all the resources just to do it.
Yeah, and this is a really good situation for Smoothie, getting the wipe out quickly, pushing up. You want to get that basket open, so you're going to make the other team scramble to try and find you as you're throwing in some more clams. Haya just going Haya towards some of these players on the side of Sonder. Yeah. 3 players going to go down. Now just need 2 claims. That's going to be a wipeout. This will give Sonder 1 more opportunity as Smoothie gets all the way to 4, but this is a situation. You make a push, it better be a good one.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to where you can kind of do a double push situation, unless you pop it like right now, and then you kind of just stall out a little bit here. I don't know if they pick up their Mercy Clam or not. They do have a ton of clams online, so if they are going to do 1 push, this is all the resources they need. They need to get the splats, though. Hinlo gets eliminated immediately, and now you got Boopy that's flanking it with Hyatt on toe, so you're forced to kind of back up and deal with that. And the flank worked out just perfectly, especially with Balloon coming around the left side. Boopy getting the final clean off there. That's basically a delayed wipe, and all of those clams that Sonder had are going to disappear, and they they don't have any other Mercy Clam ready to go, we are not going to overtime. Game 1 is done.
Well, let's see if they can form this clam. It looks like there are 7 on the side. Oh, no. It's not going to happen for them. So Smoothie with a fantastic win. You know, again, it started off just a little slow, but able to push up, getting all the way to 4. You put Sonder in a situation where you have to make a good push, and you have 1 push. You mentioned you might have an opportunity where you use your specials. You can maybe get 2 pushes. It just wasn't in the cards for them.
And now here is where the strategy comes into play, and Sonder does have the opportunity to figure out what their counter pick is going to be. Now, Jub on the headset, our lovely producer, can answer this question for me. Are we going with like typical low ink rules with this counter pick strategy here? Toasty's giving me the thumbs up with a slash mark, so I'm assuming that means it's roughly the same. Say what? Oh, well, maybe we can. Oh, it's right in front of us. You know what?
We'll take a look at the counter pick rules here. So,
who decided these two were going to be the grand final commentators?
So
the counter pick
on the page that's open for us, I know. All right.
So the counter pick rules are.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a set list of maps and modes that can be played in Low Tide City. So a team cannot pick a mode that they've already won on within the match, or a map that they've already won on, a map or a mode that they've already won on within the match.
Yes.
So either one of those criteria.
So yes, low ink rules basically. And that doesn't really come into play in this first map anyways, because Sonder hasn't won on a map or a mode yet. So the board is open for them to pick whatever they want. And as soon as we get that information, we will relay it to you guys. Now, Sonder had a little bit extra help. The coaching is legal, by the way. We did get that confirmation, and Sonder does have that extra one there. And we're getting some confirmation on what the counter pick might be, I'm assuming. Monitor.
Oh yeah, it's already on there. Splat Zone's Hagglefish.
The counter pick is in.
The counter pick's in.
Hagglefish.
You all knew it before we did, so.
What's the matter? Are they going to make it back or what? I don't know.
So like
Splat Zone's Hagglefish.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of interested because with Sonder doing how well they have been doing already, clearly they had to have been thinking what types of counter picks that they would be making based on the matches that we saw, or based on what we know that they were watching Smoothie, I assume. I don't know why you wouldn't be here, not watch the future teams that you're going to play and try and get some information. Now, it's a question of do you think you thrive on this map mode combo, or do you think your opponents struggle?
Well, and it's another situation where, like, you're picking one of the most commonly used map and modes in all of tournaments, so it's like, it's not as brain dead as Tower Control Art Academy, which will be picked in Game 3 eventually. But it's Splat Zone's Hagglefish. It's not like but to their credit, it's not just a straight up bread and butter map. I mean, we see it a lot, but there is still a lot more to it, to where certain situations work out better than others. But we'll see what Sonder comes up with here and why they picked this map in particular with their opening strategy. And that is, they're not going to use their C-Jet this time around. Instead, they're going to use a double splash. Not a double crab, mind you, one of those splashes being an Ink Strike, but I'm curious to see what their opening is going to be here. Yeah,
we're going to have Ink Strike and Crab on both teams, and Booyah on both teams. Really, it's just going to be a Stamp versus Zipcaster battle that's really going to make the difference at this point. And, right now, some specials already being thrown. It's going to be a very quick cap, I believe, on the side of Sonder, but it's going to be quickly stalled out now, but now regained with 2 players down. This actually looks like a very good situation for them.
It does, and now they're able to finally get the splat with that hammer and get the wipeout ultimately. Balloon was kind of sharking around in that corner now. Now, here's the question for Sonder. Can they start moving up a little bit quicker? Can they get control of the enemy plat? It doesn't look like they're too interested in trying to take the fight to Smoothie. Instead, they're allowing Smoothie to build up all their specials, so they're just going to take the zone right back.
Yeah, and Smoothie, the team in the purple, versus Sonder, the team in the yellow. I know on our scoreboard, it's going to be changed here as we get this fixed. But now it's going to be a situation where it looks like Smoothie is able to, can they hold on? No, it's actually going to be taken over by Sonder, who is trying to get some picks here. Now Smoothie trying to push in once more, but no, this is really well protected on the side of Sonder.
Yes, and now they're finally starting to get into a situation where they can take the fight in front of the zone instead of allowing Smoothie to build up all the specials they need to attack the zone specifically. They are burning some ink strikes, though, along that left side, maybe trying to force the members of Smoothie to attack on the right side, but here comes Smoothie's ink strikes directly onto the zone in combination with that Booyah Bomb. That by itself almost instantly capped it into Smoothie's favor.
Yeah, it is. And 3
what?
players down. This
What?
is this is really, really nice on the side of Smoothie as they're able to push up and get some picks. Really getting a lot of penalty points too on the side of Sonder as well. We see Haya trying to just get some picks here by standing right below this ledge. Shy now on the right side trying to find an opportunity to break in, going to throw some strikes towards the zone. Is it going to be enough to try and contest and cap? This might be a lead change for Smoothie if they're able to take it, and it looks like they will be able to take the lead for this point. So Sonder, if they want to try and come back, they finally have the zone, but a lot of penalty points on both sides.
Sonder opted to be a little bit more liberal with their specials right there. They had all 4 of them ready to go. Instead, they kind of displayed them out instead of going for making sure that they held on to the lead. They throw the strikes before they combine with the other specials. Ultimately, they did lose lead. However, it does, I don't know, maybe they just didn't feel comfortable using them at that right time or they weren't in the right position. They're still in this game, however, but Smoothie's threatening to get rid of their penalty points as more ink strikes are now starting to land for Sonder. Is it going to be enough? That hammer toss is going to help out a lot.
Yeah, hammer is definitely going to help. We do see Sonder applying some more pressure, able to get that cap once again. Looks like players from Smoothie are just kind of going down one by one, which is going to really be helping Sonder out, trying to take down this player who just used a crab. Are they going to be able to back out? I don't know. No, they're finally going to go down. That was an opportunity where 3 players were down on the side of Smoothie, and Sonder, for Sonder, but here we go. This is where Smoothie is thriving.
Smoothie doing a really good job. Fortunate for them. Now, the player that jumped in there did find a way to get a trade. I don't know if that's going to affect anything going forward, but at least they got somebody down with them on that little bit of an awkward jump. Haya gets taken care of on the Stamper as you see Sonder trying to find a way to get back in, but Smoothie's doing a good job of contesting, control him in. Right now, it's just a fight for that zone. Booyah Bomb getting thrown. It's not going to be enough to cap it into Sonder's favor as Smoothie's being very scrappy right now. There's just all 8 players are just throwing paint onto the ground. Finally, Haya says, enough of this. I'm just going to go take the fight to you. Gets one of the players, and when the dust settles, Smoothie is still in control of the zone.
Yeah, Smoothie won that very extended 4v4, just trying to take down one-on-one. And now Smoothie able to still hold on to the zone. 2 players down now on the side of Sonder. Will they be able to hold on? Yes, they will with 3 players down. So Smoothie will be taking game 2 and is 1 game away from moving on to the grand finals.
2-0, that counter pick not working out into Sonder's favor as they are now in a situation where they have to pick the best possible map and mode combo that works out into them, and they got K-Bot up there with them to try to figure out what that perfect map and mode combination is going to be. Now, the good news is the counter picks, if they win this game, and it goes into a situation to where Smoothie makes counter picks. There's a lot of restrictions to what Smoothie can do. So maybe that's the path that they decided, if we lose game 2, at least they can't use splat zones against us later. But you have to win game 3 before that even comes to
And that's
play.
what I was going to say. That means like you're assuming, okay, this will go to a game 5 and we have to win game 5.
Yeah.
And so it's, do you want to play that game? Maybe, but never a situation I don't think you're going to bank on, but it might be kind of lurking in the back of your mind.
Well, it's more so like, it's not like we're setting ourselves up for failure, but like if we get, like, allow us to have like a pigeonhole out.
Right.
If we get into a situation like this where we're down 2-0. So we are going to get that pick momentarily for what it's going to be. And again, there's no restrictions for Sonder. They can pick everything that is on the tournament map list, which there are 20 maps, I believe 5 for each month. So there's plenty of things to figure out right now. As they kind of stay fresh in the lobby while they're still trying to decide what the exact counterpick is going to be. And again, I don't really know what an exact weakness could be for Smoothie. You might want to just go with a map. Again, I referenced Umami, but there might be another map out there where it's not used as much in this tournament, maybe like a Rainmaker flounder. But then again, Sonder's in the same situation. Like, do you want to even play on an awkward map like that? How often have you practiced that map specifically?
Right, yeah, and that's, but here's the thing. You now have the maps that you've been playing pretty much all day today and yesterday. So you should, I use air quotes, like, be pretty well versed with those. But yeah, kind of making that decision on what you want to do. We are moving on.
And we know where the map is.
We know where the map is on our screen.
Right. It's right there. It is tower control at Undertow Spillway. So what are they thinking here, Falco?
I don't know, because you go down, again, these matches haven't been like a very convincing, it's like medium convincing, I guess, with how well.
Medium convincing.
Medium convincing. Yeah, write
okay.
that one down.
Medium convention. What's your convincing level at?
Yeah, medium. But, there's always an opportunity where Sonder can have something up their sleeve. And clearly, after having their coach on stage, and I'm sure they talked about what they want to pull, what they want to do, that's, like you said, what they think their best situation at this moment is.
Maybe it's something to do with the Zipcaster, because that's like the only other thing. Because of course, you're going to get Crab and Ink Strikes and Machine anywhere else. So maybe we can find a way to kind of limit Haya a little bit. And they're still going to go with that Stamper right there, and no real surprises coming out from the side. Is this a mirror comp?
Almost.
Basically?
We got Stamper versus Wipers are only change here, which is actually pretty similar to what we saw before, with only having a Stamp and a Zipcaster being the difference in these specials. We're going to see the Crab from Booby come out very, very early up there on the left side, and three players are now going to go down on the side of Sonder. Smoothie quickly capitalizing on this, as Haya is going to be pushing up, trying to lock out the last member of Sonder.
Yeah, and doing a good job of getting into the right position that they need to be in to guide that tower to the second checkpoint, as Smoothie is trying to do right now. So what is Saunders going to do to break out of this? They've got some Ink Strikes ready to go, and they are going to start throwing them onto the tower right now. And try. Oh, they have. Look at Haya using the Zipcaster right there. That forced one of the Ink Strikes away from the tower. What a great distraction right there. They didn't get any splats on top of that, but it's. Oh, wow. Smoothie didn't get it. No, they barely did not get it.
Man.
But, man, that Zipcaster was enough to kind of cause the distraction necessary.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't have to get the picks as a Zipcaster as long as you can pull the attention away from the objective.
Oh, they still didn't get it.
No, Haya wasn't on there long enough for them to cap. Oh, that has got to be a little painful for them. But, hey, they can't be mad about that push. But you always think of what you could have done more in that situation. But regardless, a fantastic opening push on the side of Smoothie, with Sonder trying to follow up, but having to avoid some of these specials on the side of Smoothie.
Yeah, and how is Sonder going to capture this left side? You see Hinlow's trying to do just that, but there's two players from Smoothie waiting for it. There goes the hammer. Able to get the trades, though. Not able to get a couple of more splats on top of it. But Sonder does have the man advantage into their favor. The problem is there's a Crab going off on the right side. They're waiting out the Crab a little bit, and now they're starting to hop onto the tower. They still haven't crossed this first checkpoint yet, and that's kind of what's been the hindrance for them now, because it seems like they're in the good situation to start attacking that second checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Sonder is doing really good right now, just keeping up this pressure. And they're split. It's like a 2 on the left, 2 on the right side. Really throws away a lot of distraction away towards the tower. Now, is this an opportunity for Sonder to take the lead? It looks like no, because Haya quickly hopped on the tower to try and stop that. Dan getting a nice pick there. 3v3 as Sonder trying to push towards that tower once again, but no, not getting to the second checkpoint. So now, again, we know that both teams can really contest in this situation, and Smoothie just having the benefit of pushing a little earlier, a little more quickly.
Half of the game is gone now. And again, Smoothie did not clear that second checkpoint just yet. They're going to take another stab at it right now, but they're using some specials a little bit early right now, as the Crab's going to be gone, but Haya's Zipcaster is ready to go. Or we're going to see that same kind of flank coming through the mid right there, but the Ink Strikes come out right now, and that is exactly when Haya's using Zipcaster. Gets stuck. Oh, Spider-Man caught in somebody else's web. Gets eliminated right there, but GG Dan able to ride the tower basically for free, because Shy does not have any Ink Strikes close, and that checkpoint finally falls.
Yeah, Shy was the only one alive. It's like, I am not going to jump in. I do not want to risk myself in that situation. So wisely backing out, but of course that's going to give Smoothie an opportunity to really excel, push towards this third checkpoint. All of Sonder now back on the map, trying to push up, and actually doing a good job getting some more map control, but Smoothie trying to contest with specials of their own. Going to get one pick there on GG Dan. We see the Booyah come out, going to be throwing over towards the left side, and now trying to really push up, and they actually are doing a good job getting control of mid. This might be an opportunity where they can try and extend the lead, but we know Smoothie's going to be building up the special, so once again, but this is Sonder's opportunity.
Yeah, if Toast can just stay right where they are, maybe find a way to get up that little area right there and start ledge camping, keep those Smoothie players away, Sonder can get lead right here. Well, actually, they've cleared this checkpoint first. Now they got a little bit ways to go, but that's the biggest hurdle right now. They clear that checkpoint. They only have 2 players left alive, though. Shy on the tower, and that Booyah Bomb might be able to find a way to move them in. They're just 10 points away. They can't afford to have any players get splatted right now. That's why Shy is trying to stay alive. They're able to get one more splat on the side of Smoothie. 2 players going down on the side of Smoothie as Hinlow's going to be fighting to get onto this tower. Who is left alive? It's just Hai who has a special ready to go. They get eliminated, and now there's no specials ready to come close to the tower. Sonder might find a way to get leader, and they do.
Sonder able to take the lead in the last minute of this match. A lot of specials on the line in support for some of those players, and it's just by 1 point. That's where all hands on deck. We need to push this tower. We haven't had this opportunity to do it yet, and they were able to get it. So now this is Sonder's game to lose if they want to win this match, and I know they do. They want to stay alive in this tournament, but Smoothie with 3 specials on the line, it looks like one of them being used now, are trying to really change this around, and look, a lot of map control, but Sonder wisely pulling back, wisely just waiting by this 3rd checkpoint to make sure that they have something up their sleeve. 5 seconds remaining.
And more importantly, Toast is holding on to that Booyah Bomb, and it needs to come out right now because they have to get to that checkpoint. That's all they got to do to get lead. It's a bar fight for the tower, and Sonder hangs on, and they force a game 4.
Game 4 coming up. Sonder staying alive, winning this at match point. What an impressive win there for them. And now, look, we talked about counter picks and how it was Sonder who was making the moves. Now it's Smoothie.
And that was not an easy win for Sonder at all. That was just scraping by the skin of your teeth. But still, they keep their tournament run alive. And the ball is now in Smoothie's court to decide what they're going to do going forward. Let's remind you, they've won on Clamblitz, Scorched Gorge, and Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market. Those 2 maps and those 2 modes are off the board as far as what Smoothie has to pick. So you're either going to see Tower Control, where they just lost on, or you're going to see Rainmaker. And you can't see Rainmaker at certain maps, so no Rainmaker Gorge because they won on Clams there.
Right. No Rainmaker.
And
yeah, Hagglefish either. But no, okay, so clearly we have feelings about this map and mode and how common it is for counter picks. Now, walk us through if there's anything in your mind about it.
Okay, here's my thought. If you were going to pick Tower Control Art Academy, and I'm going to pick Tower Control Art Academy, how the hell does it benefit you over me if we both want to go there? Now, I will say this. It was game 4 this map showed up, not game 2. So Guinness Books of World Records, this is the latest in any set in Splatoon history as far as counterpicks is concerned that Tower Control Art Academy has ever reared its ugly head. But to be fair, it was the first time Smoothie made a tower pick. And they wasted no time making that pick.
No, they knew okay.
Whatever. I'm sitting here, they're playing the game. What does it matter?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not as critical about their decision. We're not them. But I also know the unofficial first counter pick is always the stage. But it's not. It's the 4th one. So let's hop in and see if Smoothie can close it out or if Sonder will force this to a game 5.
And we are seeing, it looks like, is that double crab or they got the Ink Strike variant? No, it's the same exact combo both teams used last time. No changes, nothing different right now. Now, Smoothie was able to be the better team in the opening of the last tower control game. Obviously, this is a map they're going to have a lot more experience on, but again, Saunders probably has played this map or mode a few times themselves as well. But Smoothie picking up right where they left off the beginning of the last game, got control mid, even if they don't have the splats right now. It's up to Sonder to do something with the specials they built up.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Smoothie just being able to break in there more quickly, but look at this, 2 players now going to be down. Sonder still has 2 specials online, and the tower, they're going to quickly get to this first I thought they were going to quickly get to this first checkpoint uncontested. They finally are. One of our other members hops on the tower, but we now are in a 1v2 scenario where that tower unfortunately could get pushed further than that first checkpoint. So, you know, if you're Smoothie, I count that as a win for you, and you needed that as now you have 2 players down.
Yeah, and mid control going into Sonder's favor right now, actually, as Balloons just kind of throw that Booyah Bomb just to stall things out a little bit so the rest of the Smoothie players can come back into play. And what a great stall that was, because now it created this situation where one of the best ink strikes ever used, because it actually got a couple of splats on 2 players right there, trapping them in the middle of that. Smoothie is going to get lead off of this, and look at all 3 players up top right here. That opens the door for Sonder to do something on the back side.
Yeah, you really got to. The thing is, if you do that, you have to avoid the Zipcaster, make sure they don't take out one of your key players. And this push is not done. Not at all. Just one. Yeah, they're not on the tower. They need to get on the tower if you have a player advantage like that. Finally, Balloon going to be hopping on, continuing this push as Sonder's still trying to struggle to push in. But no, that's going to be a soft. That's going to be a soft wipe there on the side of Smoothie. Getting to 40, you know. Could have been executed a little differently, probably, but this is going to give Sonder an opportunity.
Credit Toast's Booyah Bomb as they were the last player left alive, because that stalled Smoothie yet again. It forced them off of the tower in an obvious situation where they could have just fallen asleep on it. So that one slowed things down. Yes, Smoothie got the checkpoint, but Sonder keeps it manageable. They just have to find a way to get through those 2 checkpoints, and they got plenty of time to do it. You got Hinlow having a hammer party, looking for something that just isn't there. And these ink strikes coming out at the perfect time. In conjunction with that Booyah Bomb, it's going to get a couple of splats, and Sonder still hasn't cleared that first checkpoint.
Yeah, that was a really good special coordination, just making sure you have all your paint there, and that player can't move, then you ambush, get the splat. So very well executed, but now it looks like the tower's going to be back at mid, 4v4, 2 specials on the line on the side of Smoothie. Now remember, they have the lead. They don't have to try anything fancy to keep this up, but Sonder can have something up their sleeve if they want to try and extend this push and that they had before. But like you said, with about a little over 2 minutes left, this will be very difficult for them.
It is, but still plenty of time for them to work with, but Smoothie's not going to make that an easy 2 minutes. They're being very aggressive right now. They're taking every fight, but now they're forced in a situation where they need to retreat. GG Jan backing up a little bit so they can build up some more specials, as Sonder's forced to use their ink strikes a little bit early right now. Who are they looking for? It looks like they're taking care of Balloon, but while that was going on, the ink strikes were able to be built up, and they're being thrown at the tower right now, and Hinlow dies as a result of it. Scrub having to use that crab right now, but they do clear the first checkpoint.
They get to that first checkpoint. It's a little later, but look, they haven't given up a ton of their players. I mean, a lot of them haven't been going down. We see a trade now, which still is, ultimately going to benefit the team who's in the lead at this point with a 2v2 situation too. Now, mid is really not in anybody's control at this point, but Sonder, we know they're not giving up on this push.
They're not, and GG Dan's holding on to those ink strikes yet again. It seems like they're not even going to be needed this time around, as the rest of the players from Smoothie are able to get some splats right now, and it's just Scrub that's forced to retreat. 1 minute left to go. They're going to have to do another one of these deep, late into the tournament, to the match comebacks on tower control yet again if they want to keep this set going.
Yeah, and just under a minute left. Again, really, no team has had an opportunity to have a player advantage where they can excel and get a push. And this will be Sonder's opportunity with having at least a 1-player advantage at this moment. They need to push up and get some of these splats. They're going to be saving some of their specials until later. We're going to see the stamp come out and try and get some picks, but no, going to be thrown up, hit the tree, not going to get any splats. Shy on the tower, 2 players down now on Smoothie, so they are going to maybe get past this checkpoint as we see some strikes come out on the side of Smoothie. And look, Sonder is making a push, Pop.
And Hinlow is calling for help, saying, we got them pinned down back here. We need to get some splats before they get their ink strikes coming out here. This is going to be the last opportunity as 2 players going down for Sonder. Can Toast win that fight against Dan? They do, but now you got 1 more player jumping in, and that is a wipeout. That is going to do it. Smoothie, unless something bizarre completely happens here, is moving on to grand finals at Low Tide City.
Let's just let that sink in for a moment. They are so happy. It's such a well-deserved win in the final moments of that match. Just being able to hold on. Sonder put up quite a fight there, and it was such a fun game. Congratulations to Smoothie for moving on. Sonder, congratulations on your 3rd place position.
And let me be the first to say, what a brilliant counter pick by Smoothie, going with Tower Control Art Academy. There was no better map and mode they could have gone with right there, and it clearly worked out into their favor.
Yeah, you clearly didn't have a change of heart in the last 5 minutes with anything that has happened.
But you know what? Sonder had many moments right there. You saw them get into the right position along that left side. The difference was GG Dan had, man, I wish we could see the stats. I bet you GG Dan didn't die less than 2 times that match and probably threw like 10 ink strikes. It was just get that ink strike when they get to the checkpoint, launch them, to scare them off. And every time more players from Smoothie was going down, you just saw Dan backing up a little bit more. Let me just hold on these ink strikes. Let me stall time for my Slayers to go out and get the job done.
Executed it perfectly. The patience, too, at that, and not to just kind of like feed and rush in. And, you know, like you said, probably didn't get splatted more than 2 or 3 times at that moment.
Yeah.
And just think about how many specials you save by doing that as well and just getting all the paint.
Yeah.
So, like, that's part of it, too, and how well you time your specials, especially on a mode like Tower Control. So important.
Yes, and it's not just, oh, I got ink strike, let me use ink strike. No, use special with purpose.
Right.
And that's what Dan was able to do there. And, of course, the rest of Smoothie working in conjunction together, able to do that. And they are, for the 2nd year in a row, going to grand finals of Low Tide City to play basically the same exact roster that they played in grand finals last time.
And, I mean, we haven't really talked about the team that they're going to be facing because they were only...
Have we?
I mean, they were featured once already on stream.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see them again. But, yeah, Starburst, their opponents, who have not dropped a game all tournament. And really, to no surprise, that's what happened.
Yes.
So...
that is a fact.
That is a fact, yeah. But, look, you know who you're going up against. You're happy with what you have right now.
Yes.
You're happy with... If you end here in 2nd place, you got to be proud of yourself and very happy.
If it ends here in 2nd place.
If it ends here in 2nd place.
Obviously, this is a giant mountain for anybody. Okay, so here's what we're going to see. We're either going to see a 3-0 curb stomp or the greatest upset in the history of planet Earth. So...
Yeah, and
who knows?
keep in mind there can be a bracket reset that happens.
Yes,
it's very possible. Yeah,
it is possible. Yes, it certainly is.
Yeah. So of course, I mean, really, we will have an introduction for both of these teams. But look, Starburst really needs no introduction. We have seen Smoothie pretty much half of the matches today that have been on stream. I feel like just really
since we've been on.
We've been on.
We've commentated this entire Smoothie run through losers bracket right now. This has been a fun time.
Yeah. Oh, it's been great. But yeah, some of these players kind of getting themselves situated a little bit, and at least Smoothie, they need a break. At least like a little bit of a
mental break.
A mental break, yes. Like a water break too, at least I would assume. So it's going to be a tough one, and we know that.
It will be, and it's not a knock on Smoothie. It's tough for literally anybody to do this. And coming into this weekend, obviously Starburst coming out of the Ink TV League where they finished in 3rd place. Many thought they were going to finish in 1st place. Needed this weekend to kind of just beat the snot out of everybody.
Right.
If not for their own sake, just the fact that they can get some wins back under their belt and get some momentum going forward for some other tournaments down the line.
Right, and it's, if they would have won that tournament too, this would be... we would have even different feelings towards them, putting them higher up on the pedestal. But here, since
can we seat them higher than 1? Is that legal? How does that work in bracket wise?
Yeah,
I'm sure Magic would find a way to make that work.
Magic and Toasty will whip up something special. But yeah, so we kind of know what's at stake here. Obviously, winner is going to win Low Tide City Splatoon 2023. Smoothie being in the top 2. Is that what you would have expected?
It was okay. This is a more impressive run for these players of Smoothie. By the way, it's Dan. Oh no, it was Boopy, Lost, and Haya that were on Blush last year. That finished in 2nd place. This time, it's a lot more difficult. There's a lot more monsters kind of floating around here. They had to beat Last Resort to get here. They had to beat Cherry Limeade twice to get here. They had to beat Sonder to get here. And by the way, this wasn't – last year, they were kind of flying underneath the radar. It was Blush. It was just this team that not a lot of people were kind of talking about as doing good. Everybody knows who Smoothie is.
Yes.
And when you play a team that's like that, especially in the LAN you're not really intimidated. You play a little bit better. You play up to your best potential because you want to get that resume win against Smoothie versus some pickup named Blush. So this was clearly a more difficult run for Smoothie to get to this grand finals than it was last year.
Right, and you mentioned, kind of the difference between playing in a lot of tournaments and then playing as a pickup. We know Smoothie has had a ton of SOS practice, a lot of high level tournament practice as well. Starburst probably not playing in as many of the tournaments that they could play in if they really wanted to.
Well, I mean,
so it's just par for the course. But right, you put more pressure on yourself at this point too.
Yeah.
Because when you play pretty much as a pickup, it's you have good players on your team, but there really isn't any expectation that is clearly defined. But here it is defined.
Yeah, and like I was saying, everybody playing up, excited to go up against Smoothie because that's a resume win. It's the situation exactly reversed here. Smoothie now has nothing to lose. They're supposed to get 3-0'd right here, so there's no pressure on them. They're allowed to play a little bit more loose because of that, knowing that they're going to be going up against arguably the best team outside of Japan.
All right, and with that, we are going to toss it to Stu to introduce our two teams playing in your grand finals here at Low Tide City 2023. Stu, take it away.